By now, most people have seen that garbage ad from Gillette, but in case you forgot, then let me remind you, it's that sexist and racist ad that starts out with a heavy-handed Me Too message, because according to Gillette, all men are scum. Then they throw in that favorite NPC buzzword, i.e. toxic masculinity. They then pose the question, is this the best a man can get? Well, I'm pretty sure this ad had many men asking the question they never figured they would have to ask, where else can I get my razors? Hell, many would rather spend their money on a bag of face-slicing Bic razors at the dollar store than ever give Gillette another dime at this point. We get our standard political message about bullying, and it's portrayed as a male thing only. Nope, girls are always perfectly respectful to each other, especially online. There's never been an issue there ever. We then get a Married with Children parody, one of my favorite shows from the 90s. I have them all on DVD. We then get a woman who gets talked down to at a staff meeting. Well, guys get talked down to as well. Maybe this isn't about your gender. Maybe you just aren't cut out for that job. It sure looks like you can't handle criticism. We then get a line of guys standing at barbecues saying boys will be boys as some kids roughhouse in the background. Gillette, this is normal male behavior. We then get Anna Kasparian, that pompous far-left narcissist from the Young Turks. You guys didn't even bother looking into this person, did you? I think you just picked a random clip. Or maybe not. Maybe you were serious here. Good lord. Gillette then says that there will be no going back because we believe in the best of men. Well, Gillette, there's no going back from this ad, and apparently your idea of the best in men includes a rather heavy-handed diet of soy. We then get a few scenes of virtue signaling and white knighting that are, shall we say, somewhat over the top. I mean, look at this one dude on the street who fancies a pretty lady walking by. Even the dude playing the white knight can't keep a straight face. Speaking of white, this ad is a bit racist. Anybody notice that most of the men perpetuating toxic masculinity are white, while it is mostly non-white males that are made to look good? Something seems a bit fishy here. We then finish with, the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow. Oh lord, do I fear for them. Moreover, isn't Gillette one of those companies accused of having a pink tax? Now, of course, this has been disproven because of the differences in the manufacturing process and ingredients for male and female hygiene products, but I find this hilarious nonetheless. Let's just say this ad hasn't connected with very many people, or at least anybody with a brain in their heads that lives in, oh, I don't know, reality, also known as the real world. Since when did a company that sells razors decide they should focus on virtue signaling, sexist and racist bullshit instead of focusing on their actual product? Wokeness. Just look at some recent Hollywood movies and see how far wokeness gets you. This ad has people talking alright, talking about switching to a Panasonic electric razor. I may pick one up, they might be on sale this week. Panasonic must be very excited right now. Now we're on to the second part of this video where an article coming out of my own country, Canada, you know, that country that has been turned into an international joke because of this idiot. For the record, because only about 3% of my viewership actually comes from my own country, we aren't all like that. Most regular Canadians hate what our country has turned into and are thoroughly disgusted with all levels of government at this point. Contrary to what is portrayed in the media, Canada is not woke. Canada has been taken over by ideologues that have decided to speak for all of us. Trust me, they do not. With that in mind, let's take a look at this rather humorous article that was published on the CTV website but emanated from the Canadian press, which means it got published all over Canada. Apparently, Gillette's socially conscious message is likely to get a warm reception in Canada. No it won't, and no it hasn't. A Gillette advertisement depicting sexism in boardrooms, backyards, and on street corners is the latest in the wave of socially conscious promotions to crop up in the wake of the Me Too era. That's sure to finish off more than just one company, and a message that is likely to find a receptive audience in Canada, particularly among women. Really? So we're speaking on behalf of all women now, are we? Well, I've been in the middle of this culture war for a while now. Many women are less than happy over the fact that the new woke movement seems to portray and objectify them as inherently weak. It's quite amusing that they claim to fight sexism while being sexist themselves to both men and women. The US-based shaving company's The Best Man Can Be advertisement was released earlier this week and features scenes meant to make consumers rethink the idea of associating masculinity with being tough or misreading women. No, but it does make them rethink using Gillette products and further repels them from modern soy-based culture. At least the article is honest in admitting it's been criticized for insulting men and co-opting a social message to sell razors. Yes, goodbye Gillette. It's been nice knowing you. The ad places Gillette among handfuls of other companies hell-bent on self-destruction, who have turned to socially conscious advertising, which is going to end well for them, a growing phenomenon abroad and in Canada, said Sarah Kaplan, director of the University of Toronto's Institute for Gender and Economy. Well, our friend Sarah sounds like she isn't going to be at all biased. A biased academic from the University of Toronto being biased? Surely such a thing has never happened. We are seeing it more and more, she said, pointing out household cleaning product ads that have been increasingly featuring men and a Bud Light beer promotion starring celebrities Seth Rogen and Amy Schumer complaining about gender-based pricing. And I used to like Seth Rogen. Yep, nothing makes me want to pick up a six-pack of Bud like being told about the pricing gap. Here's a suggestion. Use cheaper products! Sarah says advertisers have already been moving in the direction of breaking down these stereotypes and gender norms, and many have taken on subtle forms. How about you be a bit more specific there, there, Sarah. Aren't you supposed to be an academic? But Gillette is being much more explicit about what they are trying to accomplish, and I think there will be more movement in this direction. Not after they look at their sales reports, it won't. Long before Gillette's ad was unveiled, technology company Nest Labs had already clued into the phenomenon with an ad it ran on Oscars night in 2018, where a dad uses the brand's camera to remind a boy heading out to prom about respecting his date. Yep, because you gotta stamp out that toxic masculinity, there, Nest? On the same night, Twitter Inc. shared a black and white spoken word ad meant to encourage women to make their voices heard. What? Twitter took a progressive stance? I'm shocked. Then there was the September Nike ad starring NFL star Colin Kaepernick, who encouraged customers to believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Yep, the internet had a lot of fun with that one. Such socially conscious advertisements, Kaplan said, can be attractive for brands because they allow companies to look like they're trying to do some good, while also marketing products and targeting a new consumer base. No, this is what happens when you hire progressives to run your ad campaigns. At least it will make your competitors happy. She suspects Gillette's ad had its sights set on millennial men who have yet to pick a razor brand they will stick with for life. Oh, there are so many possible jokes there. Hey, let's play a game. Post your jokes in the comments section and I might pick a winner, but also women who frequently purchase those razors for the men in their lives or for themselves after noticing women's versions of the same product are more expensive. There's the price gap again, also avoiding facts. Also, honey, I've noticed your masculinity is somewhat toxic lately. Here's a Gillette razor to help with that. Good lord. Research suggests that women in Canada tend to be particularly receptive to such advertising. Isn't this talking down to women again? A 2018 survey found that women are more likely to think positively about issues-based messaging in advertising. I guess the effectiveness of a product means nothing then. According to this report, I have an idea. Let's bring back the Ford Pinto and call it woke. Those explosions, don't worry. That's just toxic masculinity. The poll of 1,581 Canadians from industry regulatory group Ad Standards Canada and research organization the Gandalf Group found that 67% of respondents said that they would feel more positively about a brand if its advertising included a public statement about curbing sexual harassment. Does that include both genders? I don't think we need to go into that much further. While only 31% of respondents said that they would feel more positively about a brand if it included the Me Too hashtag in online advertising and social media. Ah yes, that movement that started out with good intentions but then devolved into demonizing any man that has ever looked at a woman the wrong way. Overall, the study found most Canadians are supportive of companies when they discuss specific steps they are taking about social responsibility, instead of making public statements in support of a cause. So you're saying that Canadians like being lectured to and told they are crap. Yeah, I would dispute this study's findings in that case. Brent Barr, a branding instructor at Ryerson University, wasn't surprised by the study's findings or the push companies like Gillette are making into social responsibility, which he anticipates will only grow. Well, those that can't do teach. Yep, the companies that destroy themselves through wokeness will be hilarious to watch. Brands dabbling with social responsibility know that trumpeting causes can cause the public to warm to their brand or even reverse negative feelings they might have had towards it, he said. Or in the case of Gillette, people learn to hate a brand that they didn't hate before. As I said, Gillette's competitors must be happier than pigs in shit at the moment. They also know they can capture the key millennial demographic with such advertising because social responsibility campaigns tend to make the rounds on social media, he said. Oh, you people are so screwed. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching and have a great day.